everybody, and welcome to my homestead. Let's can up some homestead sweet potatoes and make some candy sweet potatoes. They'll be good for Thanksgiving. So I've cut up my sweet potatoes, and I've got them cut up in about 1 inch chunks, because if you do them any smaller than that, once you can them, they'll end up as mush. So that's the best way to do it. I'm starting out with hot sterilized. I'm doing pint jars today, and they're staying hot in my canner right here. I'm just going to do a few right now and get them in my canner. I just want to show y'all the different processes. Now I'm going to take and I'm going to fill my pint jars up with these chunks. It just seems like if you cut them in smaller pieces, they end up pretty mushy once you get them processed. So, but pint jars will be plenty for me and Mr. Brown. Now I'm not canning all my sweet potatoes. I'm going to leave some underneath the house so I can have fresh sweet potatoes too, to roast in the oven and make sweet potato fries and stuff out of. Plus, we all know that when you process something, it supposedly loses some of its nutrition. So, but I do want some shelf-stable, convenient sweet potatoes. So I'm going to can some up. And these sweet potatoes have been under the house. They've been curing since about the first week of October. So they've had a good time to cure and get sweeter. Now it's not going to hurt them to sit under there longer, but they should be good. Now I've got two different ways that I'm going to can these up today. And one of them is I've got a simple syrup made up of 2 parts water and 1 part brown sugar, and then some of them I'm just going to do in just regular water, because I want some that, you know, Mr. Brown just wants some sweet potatoes for supper. With the brown sugar syrup, I can just open up, heat them up, and convenient. I'm just going to do some in just regular plain water for different recipes that I don't want the simple syrup in. So that's just 2 different ways you can do it. I'm going to fill the rest of this jar up. Try to get as many as I can in there. And all the pieces aren't exactly the same size. Just get it as close as you can. Be the best thing to do. And my lids are over here in warm water. So I'm going to get them down in there as good as I can. And then I'm going to put, I think I'll do my water first time. This is just, and you're going to leave about a 1/2 inch headspace, because you will probably lose a little bit of water. I'll do 2 of them. Then this other one, I'm going to put maybe too full. Just have to wait and see. When I debubble it, I can probably put some more in there. My jars are hot. My liquid's hot. And I'm just going to put the simple syrup in here. Like I said, it's 2 parts water and 1 part brown sugar. That looks good. Now, what I'm going to do now is, oh, it's hot. I'm going to debubble them. Get the bubbles out. And a lot of times when you debubble something, you're able to go ahead and get them mashed down in there. You might can add to it. I think I've got plenty in this one, the way it looks. I'm not going to put any salt in it. You can if you want to. get this one debubbled. I think they're full enough. I'll debubble this one right here, and I can put these 2 other chunks in there, or maybe just one. See if I can find a smaller one to stick in there. Yeah. Okay. Now I'm going to get my, first I'm going to wipe my, now I've got vinegar in here with this water, so I'm going to wipe the rims real good. In case there's anything on there to keep it from sealing. I'm going to put my warm lids on. And I'm going to put my rings on, just finger tight. Now in the process of them being in the canner and processing, you might lose a little bit of liquid, which is okay. You just don't want them coming out and it be like half full of your liquid. That wouldn't be good. But just losing a little bit will be okay. Now I'm going to stick these back in this canner. Then I'm going to take the rest of my jars out and get them full. And then we'll be back and we'll start the canning process. I've got one more jar I need to put in the canner. And like I said, I've done half of them with, well, yeah, about half of them with simple syrup and the rest just water. That way I can, the ones that I didn't put the syrup in, I can do, if I have different recipes, I don't need the simple syrup. Now we're going to get the lid on. And I got the rings on finger tight. Put my lid on. Make sure it's on there good. I'm going to let the pressure come up. The steam starts coming out of the valve. And I'll start timing it for 10 minutes. And then we'll let the pressure come up to 10 pounds of pressure. And then we're going to can them for 65 minutes. Pints are 65 minutes and quarts are 90 minutes. So we got them going. And back here, earlier, I canned up some field peas that I had in the freezer. I went out and checked them this morning and they were starting to get a little bit freezer burnt, so I thought I'd better bring them in and can them. Because we like peas. Now next thing we're going to do is we're going to make some fresh, old-fashioned, homemade candy sweet potatoes, the way Mr. Brown likes them. This is a pretty simple process. I just got a couple of my regular size sweet potatoes out of the garden, and it's just going to be me and Mr. Brown eating these tonight, so you can double, triple this. I'm just doing what I know we're going to eat tonight, and this is probably what I'll do for Thanksgiving too. Now, a lot of people like their sweet potatoes with marshmallow and all that stuff on it, but we kind of tend just to lean to the old-fashioned way, just with brown sugar and butter, and that's about it. I'm going to place these two in a pot, and I'm going to put them on the stove, and I'm going to boil them, and I'm just going to get them tender just enough to, when you stick a fork in it, You don't want them just mush inside, because once you put them in the oven, unless you like them really mushy, so just fork tender, and then take them out of the hot water and let them cool off a little bit, just enough that you can peel them. We'll be back. Okay, my potatoes got good and done, and I took them out of the boiling water before they got too mushy, and I let them cool completely off. And then I took the skin off, and I'm just cutting them up now. Now, like I said, this is just an old-fashioned, easy sweet potatoes, candy sweet potatoes. And this is the kind that me and Mr. Brown grew up on. And this is just the way we prefer them. Now, there's a lot of different sweet potato casseroles and stuff that a lot of people be making for Thanksgiving. And they are pretty. And some of them are pretty good. I guess, I think because the reason we don't put the marshmallows and stuff on top is it's just too sweet for us. So we just like it like this. And you can, after you get done, you can put you some marshmallows or some marshmallow fluff, or make you some kind of a topping for it. But to me, if I'm going to eat sweet potatoes, I want them to taste like sweet potatoes. I'm that way. We're that way with our green beans too. A lot of people, and I don't have nothing against it, I'm not trying to badmouth. A lot of people like green bean casserole and stuff like that, and I can eat it, but I'd just soon have a good pot of old-fashioned green beans, just with bacon, bacon grease, and salt and pepper, a little bit of onion powder. You know, that's just the way I am. Can't change me, I'm sorry. Anyways, if you're going to make these for Thanksgiving for a bunch of people, of course you want a lot more than what I've got here. And this is kind of one of my Dumpa-Dumpas recipes, because I don't really have a recipe. Let's kind of look at it, and I'm going to sprinkle some brown sugar over it. And your sweet potatoes are already going to be, if they're cured right and done, they should have a good sweet taste to them. So you don't, you're not making a pie here. So I'm going to say that's enough brown sugar. And then I'm just going to cut up some butter and put on top. I mean, it's just simple. And to me, the simplest recipes are usually the best, because they're not messed with too much and not got too much on them where you don't even taste your vegetable or whatever you're making, because you put so much other things in it. You've kind of camouflaged and covered up the taste of your main dish. Now at this point, I've got my oven heated at 350, and like I said, at this point, if you want to put some marshmallows on there or marshmallow fluff or whatever, you go right ahead. But I think the only other thing I'm going to do is I got some beautiful walnuts here, some English walnuts, and I'm not going to just load it down. I'm just going to put a few, just for a little crunch. And then I'm going to put this in my 350 oven. And for this amount, now if it was a bigger pan, it'd be 30 minutes. But I think just this little pan here probably take about 20 minutes at the most. So that's enough nuts, just to give it a little crunch. So it's that simple, it's that easy, and it's going to be that good. So let me get it in the oven. Take it out about 20 minutes and we'll taste it. Before we put them in the oven, I'm going to drizzle just a little bit of pure maple syrup on top. Just a little. Okay, I'm going to get it in the oven. Okay, I just got it out of the oven. 20 minutes. And it's good and bubbly, and let's taste it. Okay, guys. I'm going to taste it. It smells delicious. It's really good. You know, if you just like the old-fashioned, your grandma's sweet potatoes, or what some people would call yams, candied yams. To me, I mean, if you put so much stuff on it, you can't taste the sweet potato. And it's really good. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. And you might consider sweet potatoes this way for Thanksgiving or Christmas this year. Keeping it fresh, keeping it simple, it's always the best. And it's really good. If y'all like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Share it with your friends. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe please. It helps me out a lot. Hit that little notification bell. That way you'll get the next video coming up. So, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching to the bitter end. And God bless everybody. And have a great weekend. So good.